Alright, so let's draw this optical illusion with these couple of columns, which is a pretty neat effect, and it's relatively easy. So, alright, to start, what you want to do is just kind of draw in one column, and let's see, make sure I'm in frame. So I'm going to draw in this one big block here, and it's going to be in a slight perspective, you know, not too much. Okay, so this is kind of like a rectangle, all right, little column. So I'm going to draw in the base. This is going to be, and we're going to extend this all the way back, kind of to show that, you know, this is kind of like the floor that it's sitting on, right? So there will be a little bit of perspective guidelines going on. All right, so this is going to be the floor. Okay, so it's kind of like a board almost, right? And then here's the rectangle. And then here on the back, we're gonna do another one. We're gonna do another one sitting right here. So you can actually draw in like a little footprint here. Okay, and then we're gonna go up. We're gonna do kind of the same thing here. So this is the second column on the back. And I know it'll be a little bit weird right here. This line right here doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's because it's not going to the same vanishing point. But it is a little bit weird anyway, but you know, the final result will actually look pretty cool. All right, so now we have these two columns here. Let's connect them. Now, you know, this is where the craziness begins, right? All right, so I'm gonna extend this upward. I'm just gonna draw a line across, okay? And then from this line here, I'm gonna come straight down here, okay? So this corner here to this, and then I'm gonna draw in here, just a little bit of perspective right there. So that I'm kind of extending this section right here, okay? And then from here, I'm gonna draw a point here. I'm gonna meet up with this point here. So this is going to be the arc. So this is where it gets kind of tricky. Well, it gets kind of crazy, right? Doesn't really make any sense. Okay? So now that we connect these two here, we're going to draw the inside of this as if, you know, this is a three-dimensional shape here. So this is going to go in. It's kind of tuck itself in right here. Okay? So in terms of drawing, this would be it. And I know it's kind of hard to see, right? Because again, without any kind of shadowing, you know, these kind of line drawings could be a little bit confusing. So let me darken this up a little bit. I'm just using a 4B here. Doesn't really matter what you use, right? I'm not doing a realistic drawing, so. Just want to make those lines a little bit darker so we can see a little bit better. So I'm going to extend this all the way through here. Okay. All right, so now that we have all the line drawings, I'm going to really sell this by shading in this section right here, as if, you know, the light is coming on this side. All right, so this part is going to be a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm trying to make it a little bit more realistic, you know. Just a little bit more variation here. Probably make this edge right here a little bit darker, and this is kind of just making a little bit more contrast between these two edges, and it really helps in terms of selling the shape, you know. And you know, when this is darker than this edge, it looks like there's some kind of reflective light going back onto the column, which is a really good thing. All right, so let's shade this now, this side. Again, I'm gonna try to do the same thing here. Let's make this a little bit darker. So you can actually, you know, put a lot of details in these columns and, you know, shade it nicely and really sell it. But right here, just really basic stuff, basic shading. And now we're gonna do on the bottom here, same thing. Okay, so now that we have a little bit of shading on this surface, it's nice to get a little bit of shadowing, right? So the light's coming here this way. So the shadow would probably be like something like that, right? Casting onto the ground. So we can actually make that a little bit darker. Just to sort of shape it a little bit. Okay, so let's see what else is. Yeah, that's about it. So, you know, if you want to add in more detail, you know, you can put in little steps right here, you know, things like that. As I've seen it in the those optical illusion books, you know, you can put in a little more details as if, you know, there's something else going on. You know what I mean? So that it's not just one flat wall. Of course, I didn't shade it, so that might be a little bit. Well, let's see if I can shade it in. Maybe we'll just go over it. Yeah, it's a little bit odd. I'm about to go in and actually erase some stuff. But you know what I mean. So you can actually put in little details here and there, you know, maybe even here. Can even do something like that, you know. Let's see. Yeah, let's try that. So maybe like little bricks, kind of how they have in the arcs, the arches. Okay, so I think, yeah, you got the idea. You know, you can add in more stuff if you want, but, you know, overall, this is just one of those crazy optical illusion things, which is kind of very easy to draw and pretty good effect. So that's it for this, and hope you guys like this. Check out my other optical illusion drawings or just drawing in general, and I'll see you next time.